Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I talked about this yesterday in my members live stream about Maxie. What is going on with her storyline? When did they just stop caring about actually giving Maxie a good storyline? It's pretty sad. It really is really sad that now all that she's really there for is filler episodes with Sasha. And Sasha is another person that I feel like is starting to become kind of lost in the sauce. What did they really do today? What did both of those two do today? They talked about Brando's garage, grief, Gladys, and they just sat there and get their nails done. That was it. That was literally the whole scene. It's quite forgettable and kind of telling for both of them. That was it. That was literally about it. That was the extent of the conversation. Brand, she wants to. She doesn't want to sell Brando's garage, and Maxie kind of convinces her to do it because, let's be honest, Gladys owes a lot of money to Miss Wu, so she wants that money, and she wants it like yesterday. So it's gonna happen. Oh, yeah, and they also talked about Lucy, and that was pretty much about it. Um, Portia. You know, Portia's going to push Jordan. I seriously want Portia to push Jordan to the point where Jordan's like, you know what? I'm tired of being nice. I'm tired of being nice. My whole thing is like, that that Jordan suspects, that Trina is Curtis's father. The father of Curtis could be, Trina's bio dad. You know that. You know she suspects that. But yet you keep pushing her all the time. Jordan came up to her and she was talking about Taggart and the security risk, being out there in the public and stuff like that, and Trina still, the hook killer and everything like that, and just making sure, he's concerned about, Trina's safety and stuff. Portia gets super defensive and takes what she says way out of hand, and practically is like, "Oh, you just doing this so that way you could try to find some sort of opening to be with Curtis again, and this, that, and the third." And it was like, no, she just came to you to tell you about Taggart's concerns about the security risk, with Trina being at this wedding, given that the hook killer still hasn't been found. I don't understand how you went from A to Z that fast, but that's literally what she wound up doing. And they got into an argument back and forth, talking about mind your business and this, that, and the third, and I'm gonna decide. I was like, boo, you do realize that this woman can literally blow your whole life apart, right? And you want to sit there and talk to her with that kind of energy? Okay, boo boo. All right. Like, in all reality, I am waiting. I mean, it kind of sucks that we have to sit there and literally wait into um, Valentine's Day, but I am so waiting until her life blows up in her face. You sat there and you kept a secret for, what, 18, 19 years? Because you were scared and you were a coward. And you denied this man an opportunity to be a part of, could possibly be a part of his daughter's life. And why? At this point, I was like, I don't even, I mean, their marriage was already on the rocks, you know? When they broke up and stuff like that, their marriage was already on the rocks. So I don't even understand why'd you lie, except for maybe you didn't want all the smoke that was going to be snipped. They come between Taggart and Curtis. But I'm looking for that day. I'm still looking forward to that day. Now Stella's back in town, and I have to and after having a quick chat about Marshall, and he was kind of dodging the question about why he's not going to play and this, that, and the third. She decides to go to GH with um, Trina. They get there and they practically just like, what is going on? And this is when Jordan's like, listen, if I wanted to get in between y'all two, I would have told Curtis a long time ago about, she didn't really say what it was, but Stella came behind. Stella was like, tell Curtis what? So of course Jordan lied. She talked about the wedding papers, and she made us lie, and she just kind of walked away, and Portia just kind of played it off like, oh yeah, I'm just on high alert. I'm just really stressed. I'm like, you're just a lying POS. That's what you are. now, now I want to talk about Anna, Valentine, Felicia. Yeah, Anna, Valentine, Felicia. So they're talking about Victor and taking down Victor, and I think Felicia was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna sit there and take him down, at some point." And I'm just like, "Wait, at some point? Y'all plan on taking down this man at some point? So some point could be in the next 2 months or the next 2 years." I just sat there. I was like, "Wait, so y'all still don't have a y'all still don't have like a battle strategy or a plan or anything like that to take this man down? We'll get him at some point." Oh, well, really look forward to y'all actually getting to that storyline at some point. Felicia decided to do something nice and, go get Charlotte, to bring in the Valentine because, Valentine Smith, they're missing his daughter. And, Charlotte talks about how she confronted Victor, and, Valentine's like, hey, listen, that's very sweet of you, but, yeah, please don't do that again. Like, he didn't sit there and say, like, this dude is kind of dangerous or whatever. He was just like, yeah, just, I'm going to work it out, okay? I got this. Don't worry about it. Um, that was pretty much about it as far as that whole scene. Charlotte thanked the Anna, and Anna and Valentine, I guess, had a little quickie. So there's that. Um, so Nina catches Drew and Carly hugging. And she walks up and she's like, oh, y'all two look so cozy. And then she's all like, Drew, I can't believe that you just forgave Carly after all those lies and everything like that she was there telling. So they go back and forth for a little bit between Carly and, Carly and Nina. And they're going back and forth. And Sonny walks up. Sonny's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, is there a problem? And, Drew's like, no, 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 it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. And he just kind of walks away. And Drew's like, yo, do you think that you think Nina saw anything? It's like, no, 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 she didn't say anything. She's an opportunist. She would have said something. She would have saw something. She would have said something. And Carl's like, hey, listen, we're fine. We just have to sit there and have more impulse control. I'm like, if y'all just couldn't sit there and stop yourself from hugging each other, like, what are you doing? Um, Nina comes to go see Willow after finding out from Sonny that, there's a good chance that, she could be saved through the stem cells. So she goes over there. She tries to approach um, Willow. Sonny was sitting there saying Willow's putting on a brave face, but, you can tell she's really scared and frightened and stuff like that. And, Sonny walked into the room, and, at first Michael was like, yo, what are you doing here? And that's when Sonny was like, oh, so you're sitting there telling me that me and Nina can't be a part of be a part of our grandchild's life or whatever? Like, we can't see our grandchild? And I'm like, well, what gave you that first clue? The fact that you practically, like, beat it the minute that you walked into the room? Or when you walked in and you was like, hey, this is good news or whatever, Nina's going to be so happy. It was like, yo, listen, talking about Nina is practically like sitting there talking about the devil if they're at church. It's like, no, 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 we don't acknowledge that. Like, what are you doing? First of all, he told you, he practically looked at you like, what are you doing here? And then you bring up Nina's name? Nah, bro. You might want to sit there and walk back out where you came from. But Nina, she came in there and she was like, hey, listen, I get it. You want to put on a brave face, but if you really want to sit there and talk, I'm here. And here's the thing. As much as I don't like Nina, and I don't, it was nice that she came in there and she was like, listen, you don't have to sit there and be strong for everyone. You don't have to be strong for me. I get you want to be strong for everyone, but if you want to sit there and just talk, I'm here for that. So she came there. She tried to put a valiant effort, but Willow was like, "Yo, listen, I got a lot going on. I got the whole disease thing. I got the C-section. Listen, I thank you for what you're doing. Just right now, I can't really handle that. So, yeah." And of course, Terry walks in, and Terry's like, "Hey, listen, we bumped you up, so you're gonna have your baby today." So she, rolled her out of there, and Nina, was kind of heartbroken talking to Sonny. She doesn't want to have anything to do with me. I'm like, I feel bad for her. I do. Like, there's one hand I feel bad for her. Okay, I do. Other hand, it's like, you've had years of practically getting in this woman's face, you know, bullying her, and just acting nasty to her. But now that you're her mother for like all of 5 minutes, you want to sit there and walk into your room and be like, hey, so, how about we just have some bonding time? Like, nah, you can rock over there. I'll rock over here. Give me some time to sit there and even process that. And Jay's time has been like, what, less than a week? Breathe. Okay? Just chill out for a little bit. I can understand like at the years of dealing with this woman back and forth just as a stranger. Um, and not liking her as a stranger. Now I gotta sit there and find out that this chick is my mother. Mm, yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, granted, Harmony is still 10 times worse than Nina. As much as I don't like Nina, Harmony is still worse. But I understand Willow's reluctance of, okay, I want you to be my show. I want you to be my shoulder to cry on. I want to be your shoulder to cry on. Like no, just breathe. Give her some minutes. You got a lot going on. Now Hat Daddy tells, I know he wasn't wearing the hat, but at this point I'm calling him Hat Daddy anyway. Hat Daddy tells Curtis, oh, by the way, yeah, I did that whole genetic counseling thing, so I'm just going to wait for the results and, we'll just see. And, Curtis like, oh man, I'm so proud of you, I know it was a lot, it was very tough to you to do. I was like, bro, this dude literally sat there and lied to you for years, sitting there faking his death. He didn't seem like he wanted to do it in the first place, and you just don't believe him? Like, really? Because I'm not going to lie, when he was like, yeah, I did the genetic counseling, it was like, smell something, starts with a B, and ends with an S. Same, bro. Same. I don't believe him. I really don't. Um, oh yeah, Terry was there. She didn't really do too much of anything in this episode. Um, she was just there just to, I don't know, talk about Portia and her wedding dress. Um, Portia is getting on my damn nerves. I tell you that much right now. Getting up in this woman's face, and Jordan's like, "Yo, listen, after all the things I practically did to protect this family, and she did a lot. Okay, she's compromised herself, in ways that she didn't think that she would, or to be honest, she should. Especially during the whole, stopping the elevator and making sure that I don't know, Trina got the best outcome or whatever." I'm like, yo, Portia, you need to just really like take several seats. Now, what I will sit there and say is that when this whole truth comes out, because I was thinking about this at work, when this whole truth comes out, Jordan, you're pretty much kind of guilty by association. Yeah, there was no concrete proof that Portia was lying to Curtis, but you suspected something. And at any point in time, you should have said something to Curtis, but you didn't. So while you may be totally upset and totally justified with giving all the smoke, we're giving a lot of smoke to Portia, you have to hand off some of that to Joy. Okay? She pretty much suspected it for like over a year, and she didn't say anything either. So you're guilty by association. Just throwing that out there. Oh yeah, I also forgot that they were talking about the memorial that is either going to happen or happen off screen. Oh yeah, Trina was there. She didn't really do too much of anything. I feel like they are going to do a memorial for her. Um, So I guess that should be interesting. I put it this way. The same way I didn't really, well, I put it this way. I wasn't sad about Brit's death, just like I wasn't sad about Nathan's death because the actress wanted to leave. So I'm not really doing any of that. But I will sit there and say this much: Brit went out like a G, and I will always sit there and say that. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't really think of anything else that happened in this episode. It was an episode. Like as in, if you want to sit there and play it in the background, that's cool too. And have a little background noise or whatever. I felt like this was more filler than anything else. It wasn't the worst episode, but it was like, you could have skipped this episode and not really missed much of anything. With that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video. Also live stream. So, see you in one of those. Or both. Hopefully both.